Hello, everybody. Welcome to Moonshine and Music, the perfect music show, episode 3. I'm your host, Joe Shelton. It's very good to see all of you again this week. We've got a great guest for you. It's Mike Durham. He's from the Metamora Performing Arts in Metamora, Indiana, as well as being an independent solo artist and being part of a duo called Blue Rose. Metamora is this tiny little town that's in southeastern Indiana. They have like lots of craft shops and places to walk around. It's kind of a tourist attraction on the Whitewater Canal. And people go down there, April through like October, and there's just a lot to do and hang out. And the season's kicking off April 14th, and they're having something called Acoustic Convergence 18 there. There's going to be 7 different acoustic acts performing in sort of a mini festival format. And that's their big kickoff to the tourist season down there. So if you're looking for a good opportunity to come and see some great acts and many different genres, perform acoustically, including Blue Rose and myself and one of our other guests that's going to come along later in the season, Ray Hoskins. You can come on down there to Metamora and check out Acoustic Convergence 18. Now, Mike performs in many different venues around the state. He doesn't have any records out yet, and he's working on a new one, his first record. But he tours around playing in different bars and festivals and restaurants and just about anywhere you can get a little show. We wanted to introduce you to new artists like this as part of what Moonshine and Music is all about. So you could see Mike somewhere around, anywhere from Indianapolis over into Ohio, at one of those little places, playing either as a solo artist or with Blue Rose. And we're going to talk a lot to him today about his background and his music, and he's going to perform a little bit for you later. I also want to get in a little plug real quick for Eat New Media. Go to eatnewmedia.com and check out their wares. They are one of the producers of this show, as well as I'm going to be performing at Acoustic Convergence 18 and many other shows in the upcoming months. And you can check out the tour information for the Acoustic Brews Tour on my website at mrjoeshelton.com. Please don't forget to subscribe to the program and to click on the notifications. If you're listening to us on iTunes, subscribe there, or on Podbean, subscribe over there. Please leave comments for us about the show, what you like, what you don't like, if you don't like our hats, if you don't like our hair. I don't have much hair on my head. Mostly I just wear a hat. But if you don't like something, tell us about it. If you really, really like something, please tell us about that too. Start a conversation. This is your show as much as it is ours, and we want to get you guys more involved. And if you have questions that you'd like us to be asking of the artists or something of that nature, it would be a great thing for you to hand that out to us and let us know. All right, enough plugging our wares and details and stuff. Let's get on with the show. Moonshine and Music starts right now. All right, Mike Durham is here with us. Welcome to Moonshine and Music.
Thanks for having me.
Well, do we have you, or we got...
For now. I'm still debating.
All right, Mike, where did you grow up? Did you grow up...
Metamora, Indiana.
So is that where you still live?
Yep, born and raised there. Haven't been really anywhere.
Oh, really?
Yeah.
So you never taken a trip or a family vacation, or...
I've been to 4 different states.
Oh, really?
That's
Which 4?
Tennessee, Kentucky, Ohio, and Illinois.
Well, then you've been to 5.
Well, yeah, you got to count Indiana,
It's
I guess.
the new math.
Yeah, I know. Yeah. I'm bad at math.
Apparently.
Yeah.
Yeah. Oh, that's cool, though. I mean, are you looking to branch out soon, or are you just planted in the area?
Well, I just started playing like this over the last 6 or 7 months. So right now I'm just kind of focusing on Indiana and a little bit of Ohio because it's pretty close to where I live.
Right.
Yeah.
So, so did you go to what high school did you graduate from? Where'd you go?
I got a GED.
Oh yeah.
Fancy. I went to Franklin County High though.
Yeah. Well, how was that for you? Did you have a lot of fun? Was it?
No, I was not a fan of school.
Yeah.
Never enjoyed school. I was actually a pretty big problem child, as surprising as that might be to you. I was kicked out constantly.
Well, what are some of the things you get thrown out for? What are the...
Really just temper issues. I do not listen well to authority figures. I tend to say no when they want me to do something. So
I'm pretty bad at that. I never got tossed completely out of school, but I did have this one time where I got locked in like a room in detention all day.
I could see that.
Which was, unpleasant. And that was because I disagreed with a teacher. And, I didn't even do anything that bad.
That's what we all say.
So, what did your parents do when you were growing up?
My mom and stepfather, they run a small convenience store business, have a small chain. It's called Pavy's Grocery. There's about 6 or 7 of them kind of in the area where I live. And my father's a mechanic. He had worked at a factory until it closed. He worked there for close to 20 years and ended up closing and decided to become a mechanic.
So he works on cars?
Yeah, cars, trucks, just kind of whatever. His garage space isn't big enough to get like a semi into it, but I mean, vehicles in general. Yeah.
Did you just never felt like doing any of that stuff, or?
No, I had a little bit of interest in the store business for a while. I worked there for 4 or 5 years, but really about the only thing I've ever truly been interested in is music. It's something I can do when I'm feeling bad, when I'm feeling good. It doesn't matter on the weather, nothing. It's just one of those things I can always do. I'm always ready for it. I'm actually diagnosed with bipolar disorder, and I've had a lot of trouble with it through my life. And it's literally the only thing I can do, even when I'm down in that depressed state. I can still go play music, and it always makes me feel better.
So does that, dealing with that, is it something that you have worked with others on, or have you had like therapy and all that kind of thing?
Yeah. Throughout my life, I have a lot of. It's been a big issue, and I still have problems with it. But I'm no longer on medication. I've learned to deal with most of it just through experience. As I've gotten older, I've learned to recognize the signs when my depression's coming on, and not realizing, that it's my depression causing me this issue or this problem. And once you're able to recognize it, you can really do something to be proactive to help yourself get out of that funk that you're in. It's occasionally you'll notice if you follow me on my Facebook or anything, I'll be very active and busy for a week or 2 or 3, and then there'll be a week where I just fall off. You don't see me, I don't post, I don't do nothing. That's usually when I'm going through kind of a rough time, getting my head straight again.
Oh, that's interesting. I mean, does that, I know that there's a lot of people that silently have those kinds of depression issues, and they don't like to talk about it.
I'm not a fan of talking about it, but lately I've been trying to get better about it because I've met a lot of people out traveling, and everybody's got issues. Everybody's got their own issues. You may not see them on the surface, and they may keep it well hidden, but I think that in this day and age, it's perfectly fine to talk about it and talk about what helps, what doesn't help, and maybe me talking about it will help somebody else that's going through the problems.
That's really cool, man. Have you written any songs that drive you into that, or are near that topic, or?
Almost all of my songwriting occurs when I'm either manic or depressed, and a lot of those songs reflect that once you know that that's what I'm dealing with. I can't write when I'm normal. I cannot write when I'm just like average, good day, just regular. I don't write well. But if I'm depressed or if I'm super manic and hyper, that's when I'm more in touch with what I'm feeling and more able to put it into words.
I see. So when you're, a lot of us can write really great songs when we're just down in the dumps and depressed. They become like, hey man, that's the saddest song I've ever heard. Yeah. And some people like have a lot of those, but and me, I try to take all those and put them on a shelf somewhere because they're just really feel really sad to me. But when you're in the manic state, are they more happier things, or are they
They tend to be more upbeat. Yeah, I don't have a ton of fast songs. I tend to write more, like you said, depressive is a lot easier to write in, really.
It just feels
is.
like you can just dwell in it and just pour it out, right?
You could, yes, and your mind's not going 1,000 different places at once. Usually there's a very specific reason or a set of reasons why you're depressed. You can really focus on that, And when I'm manic, it's sort of like ADD, I can't pay attention to anything. But I end up coming up with some very interesting guitar lines when that happens, stuff that's a little busier than normal. And from that, it may go from between one phase and another before the song is written, and you get a little bit of both.
Right. I've had that where I've just taken something, not because of my, necessarily my mood, but like something that I write out, and then later it takes like, 6 months later that little thing comes out in some song. Just like, wow, I was playing those 8 lines one day when I was happy or sad or whatever, and it didn't make any sense to me, and then like suddenly I started writing a song and it's like, oh, here comes that riff. It's like,
yep.
Is that what you're kind of referring to? Or?
Yeah, exactly. When I do write a song, typically they come very fast. Boom, there's a song. But there's cases where I'll have a line that sits there for months, and then suddenly the rest of it just kind of falls into place around it. I typically try not to hammer myself over the head trying to finish a song. It will finish itself when it's ready. I've tried that whole chiseling away thing, and it just does not work. It comes out feeling forced, and it's just something you don't want, and everybody can hear it. So, I was getting back to your family a touch. You have a child? I have 2 children.
2 children?
Yep, I'm married. I've been married almost 10 years. I have a 10-year-old daughter and a 7-year-old son.
Oh, wow. Yeah. So are they into music as well? Have you given them the bug, or?
My son, definitely. My son is very natural. There's actually a video up on my Facebook page of him singing a song with me. He's got very near, like, what you'd call perfect pitch. He can just pick up on something, take a piano and just play a few notes and be right with it, and incredible rhythm. Get him on a drum set and he can be playing right along with the song, and has been able to do that for a couple years. My daughter's not so big on music, but she's very creative with art. She's a very good drawer, painter, all that good stuff.
Oh, well, that's cool.
Yeah.
So, do they get to come out to shows very often? I know we play a lot of bars, and that doesn't happen. But
yeah, I try to sneak them in the bars, but the fake mustaches never really work. We even tried the trench coat on top of shoulders. It wasn't happening.
Have you stacked them on top of each other?
Yeah, we tried it.
To make them taller?
Yeah, they're not that coordinated. They fell right over. But no, they come to the shows when they're able to in the area. They don't come to a lot of the shows that I play that are further away. But in my town, it's got a pretty good music scene because it's sort of a tourist town, and they come to a lot of those shows, those local shows.
Right. Well, speaking of Metamora, I know that you're, you've turned concert promoter a little bit recently, and that you've put together a show called Acoustic Convergence 18.
Yeah, I'd been thinking about doing something like that for a while. Well, pretty much since I started. I thought, man, there's got to be a way to draw musicians that wouldn't normally play this area, and to maybe get them new fans, have them play to a new crowd and promote some of their own stuff or covers, whatever they want to play, their style, to people in the area that aren't familiar with it. And on April 14th, 4/14, I love that date. Palindromes are awesome. There is going to be, I think, aren't you there?
I'm there.
Oh, you're there. Ray Hoskins is going to be there. I believe Robot Drawings, the Brussels Sprouts, and Mariah Haven. And myself and a friend of mine, Kevin, our duo is called Blue Rose. And it's just a kind of a collage, if you would, of different musical styles, people from different backgrounds coming down to play. It's going to be an all-day thing.
Now, is that something that appeals to you when you're like listening to music? Do you try to find different styles, or do you kind of like hone in on a certain thing that you like to listen to, or?
Well,
what are some of the groups that like really hit you hard and come into your music? And
anybody that knows me knows I love Tom Waits. Is my favorite musician. I love everything he does, and that's sort of since I was little. I've liked all different kinds of music. I like everything from country to rock, pop, classic rock, punk. I mean, it doesn't matter. I kind of enjoy all of it. And it's hard to find that in one group, all those different aspects.
Exactly.
So that's one of the reasons, Tom Waits is my favorite. He's kind of experimented with all of it. So yeah, I typically try to catch a variety of shows, catch a variety of different musicians, and just kind of experience it all. I like Tom Waits. There's a kind of a punk band called Against Me I like. A lot of local musicians I really enjoy listening to.
Thank you.
You're welcome. And Robot Drawings, Chris Wolf. I mean, just tons of. There's so many. I couldn't name them all. I probably shouldn't even said nothing because I can't even name them all.
Now you got like 24 of your friends that are going to give you a crap because you mentioned them.
Christopher Garner, he's awesome. Carbon Creek. Yep. Anybody else? Okay.
Well, we have some other folks coming on the show. So, you mentioned Ray, and I think we may have Carbon Creek on for like a later set of them. But
cool.
That'll be interesting.
Yeah.
I've found that like around the local music scene, there's a big group of very talented folks around here, and we have a lot of different styles of music represented, and with our show we're going to try and get as many of those different types on as we can.
Yeah, I the ones I just mentioned are typically acoustic, but there's a lot of really good electric acts up here too. I mean, there's Orchard Keepers and Johnny Ping with all his groups, the Midwest Contraband and Kilgore Trout. But I mean, there's just such a variety up here, and that's part of the reason why I started traveling a little further from Metamora. Got a great music scene, but you don't get the variety in a smaller town like that you get by coming up here to Indianapolis and the surrounding areas.
Right.
So.
Well, you gonna play some tunes for us? Do you have an idea of what you're gonna play? What kind of?
I can. Can I borrow a guitar?
You could, but you got to promise not to Keller the guitar.
Okay. I can promise that.
All right.
yeah. I've got a few. I've got 8 or 9. Just see what we got time for.
8 or 9.
Yeah.
Woo. Man.
They're short. I write a lot of short songs.
They're all like 30 seconds.
Roughly.
All right, man. Well, we're going to take a little break, and then we'll come back with you and playing some music.
All right. Sounds good.
All right. Thank you for being here.
Thank you for having me.
This Sunday on Moonshine and Music, Melissa Sandulo comes into the garage for a little studio performance of her awesome songs off of her record, and to talk with us for a little while. And here's a little taste of what that sounds like.
Collapsing in a space of beauty to my dewy place of rest, and you can never quite undo me. No, you never got the best of me.
This first song's called Something's Wrong. It's the first song I ever wrote. Can't sleep at night, 'cause when I do, something just ain't right. Look, can you help me bring her home? 'Cause I don't wanna be alone, no. Well, there's something wrong with the world today, ever since my babies went away. Yesterday, it seems so far away. from the same mistakes that pushed you out the way long gone. Girl, won't you please just come on home? No. Well, there's something wrong with the world today, ever since my babies went away. Ever since my babies went away. Well, there's something wrong with the world today, ever since my babies went away. Thank you, guys. I wrote that about 10 years ago, and I had broken up with my girlfriend at the time, and I wanted to write a killer blues song, because that's what you do when you break up with your girlfriend. And it was supposed to be much longer, but my heartbreak only lasted through like 2 verses, so that's what we ended up with. This next one is one of the many I've written for my wife. It's called I'm Drawn. Like a moth to a flame, and I hope deep inside that you feel just the same. And I wrap you in my arms and promise to never let you go. Well, her eyes, they remind me, yeah they do, of the woman on one summer day. And her smile, and it's so bright that it comes and takes all of my blues right away. I'm drawn to your love like a moth to a flame, and I hope deep inside that you feel just the same. And I'll wrap you in my arms and promise to never let you go. Well, there's nothing I wouldn't do just to walk forever by your side. And there's nothing, no, in the wide world that would keep me feeling more satisfied. Well, I'm drawn to your love like a moth to a flame, and I hope deep inside that you feel just the same. And I'll wrap you in my arms and promise to never let you go. Well, this love, yeah, this love, just for you and only you. I would give it, I'd give it my all, my everything. And I'd hope deep in your heart that you'd look at me and just the same. Well, I'm drawn to your love like a moth to a flame, and I hope deep inside that you feel just the same. And I wrap you in my arms and promise to never let you go. Thank you. That was one where I was like, I'm gonna write something that sounds kind of classic, kind of a classic love song. And that's what happened. I don't know if I succeeded, but I like it, so. This next song actually started as a joke. Said I was gonna write a folk song that sounded like every other folk song you ever heard in your life. And then I wrote it and I kind of liked it and people liked it, so I kept it. It's called All That I Want Is You, and this is the one that my son sings with me on my Facebook page. I want you to travel alone. I want you to finish this song. And if I had you right here by my side, everything would be alright. 'Cause you turn my wrongs into rights. You make both my days and my nights. You walk on the water, honey, I swear that it's true. All that I want is you. I want you to have and to hold. I want you to watch us grow old. And if you would grant me this wish I hold dear, I promise to always be near. 'Cause you turn my wrongs into rights. You make both my days and my nights. You walk on the water, honey, I swear that it's true. All that I want is you. Thank you. I told you guys all my songs are short. Two verses.
You're gonna fit more in that way.
Yeah, exactly. There's a plan. Now, when I was writing that song, I wanted to do another song on the same theme. And this is technically the first song that specifically I wrote about my wife. I mean, the other ones were about my wife, but I didn't realize it till they were done. This one was like, I'm going to write you a song, and 8 years later, I finally did it, so. Well, the sun shines almost as bright as your smile, though the path that we walk is paved with doubt. I won't run from whatever may come. You are the only one who won't let me down. So we'll just stand up, gather our plans up, walk through this world full of confusion, you and I against it all. Whatever may come up, I know that we're strong enough. We'll take this whole world with us, wherever we may roam. You're all that I want, my soul. You're my everything. You're all that I need. The oceans are almost full as the heart that you hold. Each day when we're together or apart, and I know that your love feels exactly the same. Together forever we'll weather whatever and hold each other wrapped in our arms, 'cause you're all that I want. You're all that I need to have some more. Will you make me complete? You're all that I want, all that I need. You are my soul. You're my everything. You're all that I need, all that I need. For my wife, Trisha. This next one is sort of a punk rock number. If you hear the full recording of it, I got a pretty decent demo. It's full of electric guitars and heavy drums and a cool solo and all that good stuff. We're going to try it acoustic and see what happens. It's called Paint the Day. It's going to be weird playing it sitting down, by the way. Never done this, so. All the colors that are in your soul, damn it, here we go again. It's just another day, lost control. If you can't breathe, then you can't find. No God law can never take that right. Never think it's only you. We don't have to love one another to extend a helping hand. The colors we bear aren't always on our sleeves. You will never know when your painting's red in shades of black and gray. Don't ever be afraid to paint the day. Paint the day. Every day, every moment, a blank canvas. Celebrate the times with a toast. Even moments that are filled with pain can hold a beauty of their own. We don't have to love one another to extend a helping hand. The colors we bear aren't always on our sleeves. You were never alone when your painting's red in shades of black and gray. Don't ever be afraid to paint the day. 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 Thank you guys, I appreciate that. Thanks for having me.
Excellent performance, excellent interview. It was great to have you on the show today, Mike Durham. Just wonderful. We've been very fortunate in our guests here so far on Moonshine and Music, and next week is no exception. Melissa Sandulo comes in. She's going to play some great music for you. So make sure you join us then. Make sure you subscribe on all the appropriate outlets, and we'll see you next time on Moonshine and Music. Moonshine and Music is a presentation of Eat New Media in association with Notlehs Entertainment. Producers for today's program are Brandon Lay and Joe Shelton. Be sure to join us next time on Moonshine and Music.